and welcome to Strategic Gaming. My name is Mac Taylor, and today I have one person who I always have with me on these things, and one person who has never before been on this, but will be pretty much on this every time. Moving forward, we have, as always, Tequila Jaeger. How are you doing today, Tequila?
Pretty good. Not sick anymore, so I'm like 100%.
And we have, for the first time and of many times, it's Chris. How's it going, Chris?
Pretty good. Excited to be here.
Right on, right on. Okay, so let's go and jump right in. We have a lot of shit to cover for episodes 10, 11, and 12. Tomorrow we'll be doing 13, 14, and 15 as I'm trying to kind of just ram us a little farther into BB2 so we can move on to Survivor Borneo because, oh, shit, we got a lot of stuff to go through. So just, starting, well, okay, before we start this, Chris, we have not heard your input. So kind of take a couple minutes, tell us about from your episodes 1 to 9. Walk us through your thoughts on the people, on the evictees and the people still there, on Chilltown, on the toothbrush gate, which we spent fucking like 20 minutes talking about on the last podcast. So go ahead. What are your thoughts on Big Brother 2?
Well, at first, I've never seen Big Brother until I started watching for the podcast, and I immediately just liked it. Like there was so much drama, and it interested me. I don't really like Chilltown, even though I did get the members of Chilltown as my players. I do kind of like Mike Boogie. He's pretty funny, but overall, the game's been played pretty well. I mean, I know the first evictee, Cheryl, that shocked me. I couldn't believe that. But overall, I mean, it's been pretty interesting, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, and then for those of you out there, we did do draft picks of everybody who was left. Obviously, nobody wanted Shannon because we knew her ass was out the door. Kristen picked Bunky and Hardy. Tequila picked Nicole and Monica. Jada randomly drew out of a hat because Jada knows how this season ends up. So she drew Kent and Krista, and then Chris got stuck with the leftovers, which was ironically Chilltown of Boogie and Will. Tequila, why did you pick Nicole and Monica? Why did you take the girls?
Well, like Nicole, she's a really good strategist right now. I mean, even through the seasons that I've watched further on now, she's doing really good in the game. She did have a rough start, but like now she's doing a lot better. With Monica, she's still under the radar a little bit. She has been causing a little bit of drama here lately, but other than that, she's not really put herself out there to make people mad at her. So, I mean, they're pretty chill people. That's why I picked them.
Yeah, and like I know I'm a Big Brother historian. I know everything about this shit. So I made guesses on who would get who, and I got Chris. I knew no one would pick Chilltown, so I got Chris's team exactly right in my guessing. I thought that Kristen would get Bunky and Krista, so that kind of fucked up my guess a little bit. And I thought you would get Hardy, but Chris, I knew Bunky would go first. I knew Bunky was going to be first draft pick because he is sociable, he's likable, and like he has even said in one, I think it's like episode 14, he's like, I am the biggest threat to win this game. And I was like, yeah, you're right. All right, so let's jump right into episode 10. They recapped Toothbrush Gate and Shannon Geddon that is happening in the house. Hardy wants the votes to fall, and Shannon doesn't want the votes to fall. 3-3, so he can be like, yeah, your fate's in my hands, and fuck you. And that's what he wants to basically do. Why Will's like, everyone says it's going to be Shannon, but there's a pretty good chance they could just be like, yeah, let's keep Shannon in the house to piss her off and then send me home. We'll go Tequila, then you, Chris. What are your thoughts on Hardy wanting to do the split vote thing? And like, is this really a good move, or is this just kind of being a dick? So Tequila, start us out on that thought process.
I think the split vote is kind of being a dick right now because Hardy's like, "Hey, I'm HOH. I got the power in my hands, so I'm just going to be more of a dick, even though everybody knows I've already won." I think the way the way he's settling everything right now, like taking Chilltown out, is good, but you don't have to be more of a dick than you already are with all that stuff. So.
Okay, and Chris, thoughts on that too?
I mean, I felt like it was strategic. I mean, yes, you want to take out Chilltown because he has a personal grudge against them, but if you break up the two closest members, you're bound to start some kind of drama, and you're bound to hurt the person that's left, and they might not play as well the next week.
Well, it's more of like Shannon. They want Shannon gone, and he knows that's probably going to happen. But he's like, I want the added little bit. I want to be able to tell them, I got you out. When you look back at your game when Big Brother 2 is over, know that Hardy sent you out the door. And like that's bold, especially when like Big Brother 2 is almost like a question of like, is playing the game moral? Is it morally correct to play the game strategically? Whereas like later, it's like, duh, yeah, you play strategically. So in Hardy, which we'll talk about in a little bit, has this back and forth of what the fuck he wants to do, and he's the one being like, "Yes, I want to do this to Shannon." It's almost like, okay, Hardy, calm yourself just a little bit and like just let the girl go out the door. So we have all that happening, and then so since Will and Shannon, this is their last little hoorah in the house, they get sent on a date and Nicole cooks for them, and they get this like elaborate thing. Um, my question for you guys, and then I will answer it, is do you think that Will and Shannon will continue relationship outside of the house, Tequila, then Chris?
I'm like 80% sure it's gonna happen because she like opened up a little bit more about her boyfriend, how she knew like he's never worked and he never does anything for her and he's never excited or supportive of what she does. So I really feel like they will further on because through the other episode, further on, like I can see Will's more passionate about her and stuff like that. So I really feel like they will, but I'm not really 100% sure. But I would say more than likely they'll further their relationship after the show.
And Chris?
I mean, I'm pretty much split like Tequila, but I think it's the other way. I mean, I feel like it was just part of the game, and maybe they were just trying to put on a show for one another to further the trust and try and make a team alliance stronger. I mean, with the way Shannon's mom talked in her interview, I don't feel like it's going to go well for him.
Okay, so how history would have it after, this says there's no spoilers about the game. This is all just like life. After the game is over, Will and Shannon do date for a little bit. Does not end well. And yeah, Shannon moves on with her life. And Will's married now. Will has kids, and he is not married to Shannon. He's married to some actress. I don't know what her name is, but she's good looking. And yeah, they have like 2 kids together. So this is a big, and like this is something like I didn't remember. Like this is my second time watching this season because I went back and watched this when I was in high school. I did not pick up on this first time. So they spent a lot of time talking about how Krista is like almost like the end all be all of a Big Brother player. She is attractive, which is, a benefit to have in the house. She's flirtatious, but she's also very smart and tends to know what's happening socially and strategically in the house. And if she can find her way to the end of the game, she's probably the biggest threat to win the game because everybody wants to be friends with Krista. Everyone wants to be around Krista. We'll go again, Tequila and Chris. What are your thoughts on Krista? And do you think that this is an arc? Is there things in Krista's game that should be played or could be applied to Big Brother now, or is it just a product of 2001? So Tequila first.
I feel like Chris is actually playing this the way that I would if I were in Big Brother. Like she's on the fence, like she's not really choosing his side, but she is playing both sides at the same time. She's nice to everybody. She's really friendly. She's getting to know everybody, and yet at the same time, she knows what's going on both sides. Or when they have when they had three teams, she knew what was going on at all three of them. So I feel like this should be interpreted into the later Big Brothers instead of having everybody choose a side and be more of like for me, but also for other people as well, and trying to get yourself further into the game without having to like have people mad at you and have enemies on your back, which Krista doesn't really. I don't think she's like everybody's her friend, and that's all they want to be, and they don't want to be mad at her or anything like that. So that's how I feel about that.
All right, and Chris.
Oh, I absolutely agree with Tequila. I mean, she summed it up pretty perfectly. I mean, Krista is absolutely, I think, playing the game perfectly. Everybody likes her. She knows everything that goes on. She plays both sides, and yet I don't know if that's just her playing the game or if that's just her mentality. But if it's just her playing the game, I mean, I feel like she has a very strong chance she could win.
Yeah, and again, this is like the first time that Big Brother 2 is the first time it was ever played this way with HOHs and strategy and shit. And so the fact that someone like Krista is like creating this archetype of like playing the fence, but also like she knew like on her HOH she could have put up Chilltown and appeased like 75% of that house, but she's like, they were gonna do that later, and they have. But she's like, my HOH, I'd rather take out someone who I really don't get along with or I don't is not good for my game. And yeah, like if we're like, for Big Brother 21 that is going to be this summer, that's like Big Brother 101. Like you get out the people you don't get along with. And if you can ride that fence, you ride that bitch as long as it goes, and then some. So, but this is the first time this game is played that way, and someone just naturally fell into it. She didn't have seasons to look back on and go, "Oh, this is kind of how you play this game." She just fucking did it. And that's how her personality was. And it's almost like I don't think this has ever really been duplicated, where someone's just naturally perfect for what this is supposed to be. But we also get isn't really something to talk about more, so I just want to bring it up. Is that Bunky is just giving Kent so much shit, and I love every fucking second of it because he talks about like wanting a sugar daddy and things like that, and it just cracks me the fuck up. So yeah, we like Chris alluded to earlier, we meet the moms, and man, you can tell a lot about these people by their moms. Because we meet Shannon's mom, and Shannon is a lot like her mother. She's very vocal. She's not happy about like 90% of things, and she's kind of mean, and like she's like, no will. It's a no-go on the fucking doctor with the six-pack and the nice hair. No-go on that guy. We want Jim, the guy who's sitting there on the beach and can't figure out that she's fucking somebody else in the house. We want that guy. And then we meet Will's mom, who is like, oh yeah, this whole like evil doctor thing, that's just he's on TV and he knows he's on TV. He's actually really nice. And like, I think Shannon's like, yeah, good for him. She's good looking. I'm like, oh, you're a sweet lady. Tequila, then Chris again. Thoughts on the moms, and does this give you an insight on who Shannon and Will really are?
Yeah, so for like Shannon's mom, everything that she was saying, I was like, yeah, that totally sums up Shannon and everything. And then it really threw me for a loop when Shannon's mom's like, oh yeah, that toothpaste thing, with the toothbrush and yeah, I would have totally done that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, I dislike Shannon's mom. I dislike Shannon's family. I hate them so much. With Will's mom, I really like her. She's a really sweet lady. I really feel like if Will's mom and Shannon's mom were to meet up, I really feel like they would kind of get along, but butt heads at the same time. I like Will's mom more because she's more down to earth than Shannon's mom. And I do think that seeing their mothers does give me a look into more of them and kind of understanding who they are and where they get their traits from.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, I really believe you can tell a lot from a person's mother. I mean, when I met Will and Shannon's parents on the show, I mean, I could tell Will was actually probably a nice person who just doesn't get along with people. Like maybe he likes nature more, and his mother sees that and thinks he's sweet. But when I met Shannon's mother, I was taken aback. I mean, it absolutely shocked me the way she just acts on a national TV show. I felt like she would be rude and she might be used to making a lot of money. And
Yeah,
I
and
feel like,
like,
yeah.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Um, and like the point about Will and looking into Will's life and about him being like he's not like as cold as he comes off on TV. It brings up a point which I do want to ask you guys about, like how. And I agree with this point. You may not. That like, I think Will recognizes this is television. Like above, like he has his morality is in check. He knows who he is. So he's like, all right, this is TV. They clearly don't like me because I'm in this Chilltown thing. I could either try desperately to become a hero or do what I could probably do, and I'm gonna be the best goddamn villain that this show has ever seen. And like I agree with that. Like if not everybody, because like this is the dilemma that some of these people run into is like, oh my god, I don't want to look like an asshole on television. But like not everybody can be the hero. Not everybody can be America's favorite player. So if you're not America's sweetheart, be America's devil. Because just as much as people love angels, they love demons. So like and we can even look back on just a little social experiment game that we played. You, Chris, you played in season 2. I was a villain because like there was no way I was gonna come across as the good guy in the situations I was doing. So I was like, "Fuck it! If we're burning it to the goddamn ground." I'm gonna do evil shit, and like it's just a game, so you might as well enjoy playing it. Not everybody's gonna be angelic. So, uh, do you think that basically what all those words we're trying to say? Do you think that recognizing the difference between like this is a game and how to play up your character, is that a good thing to do, Tequila then Chris?
I mean, yeah, I get it. Like with the whole toothbrush thing being that villain kind of thing. So if it was real life, yeah, I'd be more upset about it. But yeah, it's TV, and Will understands that. So he's gonna be who he's gonna be in that in the show, rather than hey, I'm gonna try to be who I'm gonna be in person in real life. So I get what you're trying to say, and I'm all for that, like being the villain and not changing your personality for the show.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I believe, I mean, if you can be the nice guy, you probably should. It would get you more votes in the end. But if you know you're not going to be the nice person and you know people aren't going to like you because of your personality, I think it's smart to play the game completely evil. Manipulate everybody if you have to. I mean, it is for $500,000. You get the money. You got to win. It's a game.
Right. And it's funny because like eventually on this, when we do all the American seasons, there are Canadian seasons, and they only get $100,000. And some of the fucked up things they do in Canada, man, like they understand heroes and villains in Canada, and I think people want to be villains more than they want to be heroes. Like I won't divulge into it too much, but there's a thing in Big Brother Canada 2 involving letter shredding, and oh my god, it is glorious television. So back to the show at hand. Hardy flip flops like a motherfucker. He in this particular episode, at this particular time code, about 20 minutes into the episode, he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Nicole and Krista to the end because I think these are the best people. And like, I don't even want to win. Like, goddamn, does he say that a lot, but then proceeds to do things that say otherwise. He's like, yeah, I don't want to win. I don't care about the win. In fact, I'm playing for other people. I'm just, I am a good person, and I will strike down with great vengeance upon evil. And like he's a fucking Ghostbuster or something. And we'll get to that later. I just wanted to point out. I always try to point out contradicting things that'll happen in the game. So there's a conversation to come later in like the next episode. But just remember that at this point in the episode, Hardy's with Chris and Nicole, and he's very like, I don't care about the game. So we get the votes. 6-0. Shannon is gone, but she doesn't do anything crazy. You'd think she'd like be flipping people off and like spitting on puppies and kicking babies and knocking pictures off the wall. Just everything. She went out. She's like, oh, good game, guys. Thanks. Walks to talk to Julie, and she's like, no regrets. So, final thoughts on Shannon Geddon, Tequila and Chris.
Overall, even though I don't like her as a person, she did play the game the way she wanted to play it, and she didn't change for anybody going for the game. So, I mean, she did what she had to do. She left in a good, respectful manner, I think. She wasn't, like do what you're saying, flipping tables, being mad at people. She left, stuff like that. She wasn't like an Autumn and had that little sob thing, don't walk me out or anything. I don't want any hugs. If I were to meet Shannon, I think outside the house, I mean, I might be friends with her, but sketchy at the same time with her. But overall, I think she played like a really good game, and I'm proud of her outcome the way she did it.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, Shannon left like a champ. I mean, she kept her head up. She walked right in front of everybody. She said bye to everybody in the house. And then when she got out, she didn't even really care. Like, she knew it was her time to go. She was ready for it. And she was straight up about everything.
Yeah, and like Shannon as a person, I probably wouldn't care for her. Shannon as television was great. The toothbrush thing was probably a little too far, but overall, she did what they brought her on the show to do. I don't think she really had much of a chance to ever win. And so, I mean, granted, if she's HOH instead of Hardy that week, we could have seen a whole other game happen. But it didn't work out that way. And she walked out the door. She pretty much knew that Will was the better option to keep in. And, you could change some of the things she did. But again, great television. How boring of a season would it have been if everyone says like, all right, it's me next. See you guys. And everybody's happy and fun. No, we want to see some drama. And Shannon Dragoo knows how to do some drama. This is an interesting thing. They show kind of like the votes to them, like after they've been evicted, which is like, I'm glad they don't do this shit. But we see that like, this is a bad move on Bunky's part, I think. Is when he's like, yeah, I don't agree with what Shannon did. I think she comes off very disrespectful, and like, I'm glad she's going to be gone. And if you notice, everybody says something along those lines except for Monica and Nicole, who are like, it's just the way the cards are going to fall this week. I'm sad to see her go, but I got to evict Shannon. So sad about it. And this brings up a point that, there is no secluded jury. These people are getting evicted. They're going home. They're going to watch the season. And then they're going to come back and vote for the winner. All of them, including Justin, who fucking was putting knives to people's throats. They're all going to vote. So, I think this is jury management on their part. Like, they know that if I get to the end, these people are going to have to vote for me. So if I'm sending them out of the house going like, you're an asshole, get out of here. And you're an asshole, get out of here. They're going to be like, I don't even vote for that person that kept calling me an asshole the whole time. So, but you could also just say that this is AR's people. So we'll go Chris first, then Tequila. Do you think this was jury management on Monica and Nicole's part? And do you think that this is like good gameplay, bad gameplay, mediocre gameplay? Do you think it was an accident? What are your thoughts?
I think it was just great gameplay. I mean, at the end of the season, those are the people that are going to vote whether you win the game. And if you're always going to act nice, but when you vote for somebody, you're going to be a dick about it, I mean, they're not going to vote for you when you're in the finals. I mean, you always have to be nice if you're going to be the nice person in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a smart move on both their parts. I mean, they might have thought what they were going to say before they went in to tell them, why they voted him off. It's smarter on that. Yeah, like I think it's jury management. I think more say than like more of a game show kind of play. They're thinking ahead of the game for sure, just in case they do make it, to the final two. I would definitely think before I spoke if I knew, hey, these people are going to vote for me if I'm nice or if I call them an asshole or something. So I really think they did a good job with what they said.
So yes, Shannon's gone. No more Shannon. Shannon will never play this game again. And I don't think we ever get an update on what Shannon ever did with her life. But move on. It's higher or lower, which is actually an HOH that we see happen just about every season, except they had no money. So it's like stairs, like they, I guess, would be like for a pool or something that are just different colors. And like they have blindfolds on so they can't see what everybody else is answering. Normally, with Big Brother's set, assembly, there's like there's dividers in between them. So they can turn around any which way. They can't see the person next to them. But I guess when you're on a dime budget, it's stairs with blindfolds. But yeah, it's whatever. They do this. It's basically, they say something at to go higher or lower. Gets down to Boogie and Kent. Very similar how it came down to Shannon and Hardy. It's like Chilltown can catch a fucking break, or it's another one bites the dust. And as fate would have it, Kent, who I don't think any of you thought could ever win anything ever, wins a competition and is head of household. And Boogie is pissed. Basically, going in episode 11, as you were watching this, where you're like, oh yeah, they're fucked. We'll go Kristen Tequila. Go ahead, Chris. Thoughts on Kent HOH?
Kent being HOH shook me to the core. I never thought he would make it at all in this game. And I thought it was ridiculous that he put Boogie up. I mean, I know he hates Chilltown, but as much as he says Boogie didn't save him, Boogie saved him in the first episode. If Kent would have went instead of Sherry, Kent would not even be in the game right now.
Or even if you put Kent up next to Cheryl, that was it. Like,
yeah.
Nicole and Cheryl, there was a dilemma, but Kent couldn't convince people to save him over Cheryl. It wasn't going to happen. And that's what Boogie's saying. He's like, if I'd have put you up against Cheryl, you'd be fucking gone. And then I saved your ass when you were up against Autumn. So he does have a valid point. But that's not exactly the best way to play. I'm sorry, continue if you have any more thoughts.
I mean, yeah, him being HOH, I mean, he did a great job. I mean, but he could have made the voting a lot harder and gave us a better two to vote for instead of just trying to get Mike off the show.
Okay, it's Tequila.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Chris just a little bit. Like Kent, I can see he doesn't have social skills at all. So regardless of what Boogie was doing, Kent did not see that at all, and he was arguing his point. And he's like, "Boogie, no, you didn't try to save me. Quit trying to play this card. I'm not stupid. So I'm still here. That's all that matters." The way he's going about it, though, I really don't like Kent at all. I knew as soon as Kent got HOH, everybody they dropped their head. They were just so sad and upset with what happened. So, all in all, I really wish Kent would have made HOH at all.
Yes, so we get Kent walking around in his HOH robe, got a cigar in his mouth, and he's talking in this even more southern accent than he normally would. And he's talking about he's bitching about the stuff he doesn't have in his HOH room. He wants this and he wants this, and people better look out because he's doing this and that. And like this is the prime, and we see this a lot in Big Brother. Is like we see someone and we're like, I wonder what would happen if they got power. Then they get power and they lose their goddamn mind. Like like they don't know that the next week they are just wide open to be nominated. Like they're just walking around like I run the whole house, and you don't. So we get this whole weird power trip that he goes on, which I mean, it's not like condescending. Like he's not like directing it at one person. Like if this was Shannon's HOH, Hardy would have been in for an even more hellacious week than he was in. So it wasn't like negative. It's just he's just. It almost be like what happened if you gave your dad a power to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how your dad would probably act if he had power to do something. This is how it would be. However, this is the point of conversation I want to go into. I know I'm stammering a lot tonight. I just apologize for that. Will's like, I'm not even gonna fucking unpack because like I'm probably going right back up. I'm probably going right out the door. And Will's like, wait a second. If I talk to Kent and I can get Kent to put up Boogie and someone like Bunky, I got this. Like I can convince people that Bunky is a much bigger threat than Boogie. However, we'll talk to in a minute. But basically, Shannon's gone and Will has come out to play. Will, up to this point in the game, has been just awestruck by this, I really didn't find her attractive, but what he views as a gorgeous woman. He's been following around like a puppy. Now she's gone, and he's like, oh, yeah, right, I have a brain. Here's what I can do strategically. What do you think of Will's strategy? He's running around talking to Kent. He's running around talking to Nicole and Hardy. Like, what's the new woke Will like for you guys? We'll go Chris into it.
I mean, Will has just unleashed pain. I mean, he's ready to manipulate everybody, and he wants to make Hardy hurt. I mean, Hardy got Shannon kicked off the show. I mean, he's in love with Shannon. He wants to hurt everybody that is left. Anyone who voted for Shannon, he is out for blood.
Okay, Keelan?
Yeah, this is the Will I actually wanted to see. And then once Shannon came into his life, he's all mopey and he's like a dog, but like having the tail between his legs. You don't really get to see that much from him, So now he's like setting the deck for everything. Now he's like, all right, I gotta play this smart. I gotta try to stay in this game now. I didn't care really when I was a Shannon, but now that she's gone, I can actually do what I want to do, say what I want to say, and I'm glad Will's back, the Will that I wanted to see.
Yeah, because like when I was watching this, I was like, wow, like he's just, is this going to be the whole season? Is him just following her around? And then she leaves and he's like, oh yeah, right. Okay. So yeah, like take me with you guys because I suck at shit. And you're like, great idea. Like I would never think to say that to like that for me for probably the next couple episodes is me going like, man, Will, that is smart. Like I just wouldn't naturally think of this. And even Boogie's like, yeah, if we can get that done, like if you get me up against Bunky, I can campaign because he's like, we got Krista, we can probably get Nicole, and then Monica maybe. So like if that's 3-2, we got it. We got the vote. So Will and Boogie are already like, how the fuck can we get out of this? How can we keep the two together? Then they play this food competition. So it's the food pyramid, which Bunky actually guessed it was going to be a food pyramid. I thought that was pretty smart. And the only people that lose are Monica and Krista because trivia is not their strong suit, I guess. So they get food. Everybody's all happy with most of that. Then we get this, and I am going to divulge into this. Chris is like, yeah, I'm horny. Like, we've been in this house a month. I haven't had sex. Like, this is driving me fucking bananas. And then Nicole's like, yeah, it comes in waves for me, but like, I've been married. I've been like, I'm ready to get it on too. And then Monica's like, Monica, you've been celibate for like a year. How's that going? She's like, right now I ain't getting it. I don't really care about it. She's like, but if I get it once, I'm gonna want it twice, 3 times, 10 times. So like, and this is a valid thing in the game. Like this game goes up to 3 months. And if you last the whole time, like shouldn't have any like physical contact with people. Like it gets rough. Like most people aren't used to that. So like, we'll go Tequila then Chris. How do you think you would fare in the house? Like Tequila, you're in the Big Brother house without Cole. How are you going about this without physical contact for 3 months?
I mean, it would be kind of tough, not sleeping next to a guy, I think I would like try to make some guy friends, and like spoon, like Krista and Boogie would do and stuff like that. So it would be hard at first, but like I wouldn't, make out with anybody, but I would still want that physical touch and that physical contact from somebody. But I wouldn't start off right off, like say I was in the house for like 2 months, then I might start to think about it. But other than that, it really wouldn't bother me.
You're not gonna be like Autumn and like 10 hours into the game. You're like, hey Hardy, do you want to like emotionally connect with me?
You got a nice body. You want to hook up?
Right, like Chris, how about you? How would you go in 3 months?
I mean, it would be torture, but I mean, if you're with somebody and you really care about them, you could wait. But it's just that connection at night where you sleep with somebody. I mean, it makes your whole day, and your sleep is so much better. And I mean, not to bring it up, but Hardy has got the body, and every girl on the show wants Hardy. I mean, every girl, and it might even get him to the finals. And Monica is losing her mind over Hardy's body every day. I mean, he's working out, and she's like, "Oh, bring it over here." Ooh. She wants a
he
pee.
said something like, "Oh yeah, like whatever, I'll hug you, whatever." She's like, "I'm gonna drop you on the floor, get your clothes off, and I'm gonna drop down on it." And she like did all that stuff. I'm like, "Damn, Monica."
She went straight up. She's horny.
I would love, I'm friends with Monica on Facebook. She's great. She's lovely. Like, I would love being in a room with Monica like this. Like, she's lively. She's funny. Like, you don't see a lot of drama from Monica. It's more of her just being like, "Oh, y'all's depressed or mad right now? Let me make you laugh for a second, and then I'm going to walk out the room because I don't want to hear your shit later." I'm like, yes, I want this in my life. So yeah, we get all that talk. And then Boogie, he's like, "I'm going to make my move on Krista." And Will's like, "Wear my kimono." I didn't know Will had a kimono, so I was like, when did this come into play? And also, like, why a kimono? Why does that help anything? I don't know. But he's got a kimono and like an ascot on, like that makes any sense. And he's laying in Krista's bed just waiting. She knows he's waiting. She's out there just smoking, waiting, trying to wait him out. He falls asleep. He doesn't ultimately get. I mean, she comes in and like, but she's like curled up in a ball. Like she's very resistant to it at first. Basically, and then like later we see she's kind of opening up to it. What do you think so far of the Boogie and Krista showmance, if you will? Chris then Tequila.
Oh, I lost it when Boogie put on the kimono and the ascot. I mean, I thought he looked like Fred trying to go in on a date with Daphne. I mean, it was hilarious. And I mean, I could see why he would like Krista, and he's trying to get her in the sack so they can continue the show together. But I mean, now that's not an option. I mean, one of them has to go, but I mean, it's sad because you never know where it could have gone if they would have both stayed on the show.
All right, Tequila.
I think it's kind of cute. They're just like playing this little lovey-dovey kind of thing. Taking the stress, and the drama off everything, and they're just trying to have a good time and have fun with it. So I like it. It's cute. I love it.
Yeah, but then like they have this cute moment, and then immediately like she pulls Boogie into the pantry room, and she's like, "It's gonna be us on the block." And he's like, "What? Us? Like you and me on the block together? Why would they do that?" And she's like, "Kent doesn't like me because he thinks I'm playing both sides." He said this vocally. He wants you specifically out of the house. So he's going to put you up and try to send a message to me like, "You better get your shit together or you're next." And Boogie's like, "It does kind of make sense." And then he goes in the diary room. He's like, "Look, Krista does have her finger on the pulse of this game because I didn't even see that coming. And I'm supposed to be the guy who's figuring this shit out." And really, like, it's just further I think, says that she's probably playing the hardest of everybody in there. Because she's sitting there and going like, all right, Kent hasn't really talked to me a lot. And from what I gather from the people who trust me, it's going to be me. Then we get another lighthearted moment where people are referring to Kent and Bunky like the odd couple. But it is a very valid reference. Like, Kent is very much, is Oscar's the tough guy, and then Felix is the highfalutin roommate.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a very valid comparison between the two. And then they're on the couch talking about quiche and how the furniture isn't color coordinated. And I was just like, oh, I love this video package so much because Kent sometimes makes it very hard to like him. Like, extremely difficult. But then this shit happens and I'm like, I like you. Damn it. So, but Kent, and again, we have this light moment and we go right back to him doing crazy, weird shit. And he's talking to Will, which is like, he's talking to Will. And he's like, they want me to put you and Boogie on the block. I don't want to do that. That's boring. I want to mix it up. I want to do something crazy. And I want to do what's good for me. He's like, but if I keep you off the block, you and HOH, we're good, right? Will's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And he like immediately goes to the diary room and he's like, I'm lying. I don't know if you know this, Kent, but people lie. I'm going to tell you whatever you want to hear. And then I'm like, if I get HOH, you're on the block, no doubt. What are your thoughts on Kent's crazy ass gameplay? Is there any shred of strategy, or is this all just crazy bananas mess? Tequila, then Chris.
It's a crazy banana mess. Like, his thoughts are not in order at all. I don't even think he had like time to focus on anything. He just, as soon as he got HOH, he wanted action as soon as it happened. Like, he wasn't even thinking about anything at all. He's just like, I've got a mission and I'm gonna set out for it. Have no idea how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna get it done. And that's causing really hard conflict in the house because now he's screwing up his chances trying to at least make friends with people, even though nobody likes him at all. But now he has less of a chance because he's being a complete dickhead to everybody. But yeah, he's still trying to push his foot into trying to save his ass at the same time. So he's like, yes and no, but a kind of like a maybe in his head right now. Like, he has no idea what's going on.
Okay, Chris?
I mean, he's just all over the board. I mean, his attitude changes every episode. Like, 1 second you'll like him because he's hanging out with Bunky, and he's like the cool redneck that just understands the gay guy. And, I mean, he's friends with him, and it really is the odd couple. And I never saw that friendship coming. I thought Kent was going to hate Bunky. And I really don't think Kent knows how to play the game, but he's trying to figure it out. And he's just trying to save his own ass. I mean, he makes an alliance with Will, and Will straight up says he's not going to hold to it. And that's smart. I mean, you don't want Kent. But on the other side, Kent's with the entire group. He picked the right people. He has a huge team, and he doesn't think he's going to get voted off for 3 episodes.
Yeah. And again, we get all that crazy banana mess, and then it's like Kent's HOH room, his kids' drawings are on the bed, and I'm like, damn it! Yeah, I don't like his game, but I like him, but I don't like him, but his game kind of makes sense, but then it doesn't. Can someone be more confusing? Like, holy shit! Like, I miss the days of Shannon where I was like, yeah, that bitch needs to go, and then she went. Like, this is 4 layers on this. But then we get the nomination ceremony, and the first key out's Will's, and everybody's like, what? And then we get the Boogie and Kristen nomination, and that alone is enough to get fireworks in the house. But Kent, being Kent, decides that to take it a little bit further. he's just like, Boogie, you did these things that like you're Chilltown and we don't agree with Chilltown. No bueno, you're on the block. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Krista, you're a liar. You've been playing both sides. You've betrayed my trust, and now you're on the block. Basically, like, fuck you, Krista. You're my target. And she's like, I don't know. She's in a towel, though. And I'm like, Krista, why wouldn't you get dressed before the fucking key ceremony? Like, but so she's like that in the next key ceremony. I'm like, Krista, plan your showers ahead of the ceremony. Like, quit doing this. But she's like, yeah, that's weird. And then Boogie's like, wait a second, I got something to say right now. And he's like, what are your kids gonna think when they look, which like low blow? They're gonna look back and say, Dad, that guy Mike Boogie saved you, and then you put him on the block. Where's your morals at, Kent? And then the show ended, and I was like, that is a weird place to end, but like, okay. And so we flip to the next episode, and it is Boogie versus Kent. Like, Boogie saying some shit, Kent saying some shit, and Boogie goes as far as to tell Will, he's like, look, I don't know how the hell this happened, but this is like if you're on a movie set, and then now all the extras have overthrown the actors, and now the extras are running the house. He's like, let me tell you something. I'm a star. He's a fucking extra. Thoughts on this up to this point, Tequila, then Chris?
I think it's like Boogie is just like beyond pissed at this point. So he's going to be like Shannon and take it out on Hardy. So he's Boogie. He's going to take it out on Kent. He's like, I'm going to make it this worst entire time I'm on the block. I'm going to make it so bad for Kent. He's going to hate it. He's going to hate that he put me on the block. He should have just, listened to me and, did something else. So I think it's hilarious because he's really just doing what Shannon did, with Hardy. But and then you see Kent's reaction. He's like, Boogie, you're just mad because I put you on the block. Just shut up and get out of my face. So.
Okay, Chris?
I mean, Boogie is just pissed. Boogie believes that he saved Kent and Kent should save him. And Kent just like, fuck you. I don't owe you shit. Like, why should I help you out? I want to win the game. I don't want you to win. You and Chilltown don't play the game the way I like it. Fuck you. I mean, he was straight up.
Yeah, and then we get, and this is hilarious. Like, Mike's like lifting weights, and he's like, I only do like 6 of these normally. And he's like, and then Monica's like, run around the yard. And he's like, okay. And he's running around the yard. He's like doing laps. And Chris is like, I'm going to snuggle with you tonight. And he's like, I'm not even mad anymore. And he's like, just running around. Oh, I love it. I love Mike Boogie. He's great. That was great TV. And the thing about this whole Kent having this vendetta against Krista, he's not completely inaccurate. He does kind of have a little bit of knowledge in that Krista is playing both sides of the house. She is a big threat to win the game. But usually if you're going to make a big stab against a big player like that, you should probably have the support of, like a couple of people, but like nobody else, not even Bunky. They don't have any interest in taking Krista out. So he's doing this, and everyone's like, what the fuck was that all about? Like, it's too early. Like, if you're going to put Mike Boogie up, and Mike Boogie's your target, put him up against Will. Mike Boogie still probably go out. If Krista's your target, put her up against Monica. No one's going to vote out Monica over Krista. No one's going to do that. That's insanity. It's like, okay, I got 2 people who are probably going to be super pissed. One of them's guaranteed to stay. Here you go. I mean, like, for us, the viewer, yes, this is golden. This is great television. But this, again, crazy bananas. I don't understand. I try. My head, like, I was sitting on the couch watching this episode. I was like, oh my God, I don't get it. My brain. And here now, so we touched on Hardy before. Now comes the big Hardy conversation. I think this is going to be a good little talking point. Hardy's like, yeah, I'm done with the game. He's like me, like where it didn't make any sense. But instead of me just being like, oh, that's annoying, he's like, this doesn't make any sense. No more game talk. You don't say HOH. You don't say nominations around me. You don't say alliances. I'm not in any alliances, even though I'm in like 7. out of like 8 that exist. I'm done. Don't talk to me about it. Just let's be friends. We're friends. We're friends. We're cool. I'm a good guy. I'm a good person. I'm a hero. You know, but no game talk. I'm done. This is crazy. My morality. Like, I need to save myself. For no reason. But he goes around and says this to everybody. So, at this point, like, what the fuck is up with Hardy, Chris and Tequila?
I mean, Hardy, I think, just knows how to play the game. I mean, it could be he just wants to be a nice guy and doesn't want any more alliances. But on the other hand, he wants to get sympathy. He wants people to like him and think he's playing the game completely fair. And he wants people that are out to think he's the nicest guy in the world. So they vote for him. I mean, he's strategic while playing every single aspect of the game at the same time.
Okay, Tequila?
Yeah, I totally agree with Chris. Like, he's an emotional wreck, though, too, at the same time. But yet, it takes him a minute to get his thoughts together. And then once he gets his thoughts together, he's like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to follow through with it. But I'm going to be drama at the same time as I'm following through with it.
Yeah, but like my thing with it and my gripe with it is 2 things happen. So we're on episode 11 of this show, and you said like I just want to get Chilltown out. Then you were like, well, you know, I kind of want to play the game. Then you're like, I don't like Chilltown. Then you're like, I have 4 alliances, and you're like, I don't have any alliances. And now you're like, well, maybe I do. You're like, but I don't know anyone ever talk about any game around me. Like these people are gonna go watch the show. And they're going to be like, yeah, Hardy had no fucking clue what to do. Like every day he's just yelling at himself. And that's confusing to people when you're trying to tell people at the game, like, I was a good person and I did what I had to do. Everyone's like, yeah, but you did this thing where you just bounced around for a while. That's a little odd. Like, or at least me, maybe they wouldn't. You know, maybe they look back at it and go, yeah, Hardy, you're hot. Here's $500,000. He's like, I am hot. Thank you. And like, maybe that's it. Then we get this Chilltown goes to Dance Town, and they're out there with Bunky, and they're doing this whole like little dance video thing. And again, we get this another little lighthearted moment because even though Boogie had his whole camp moment, he's trying to keep it fun. He's trying to keep everybody in light hearts. He doesn't want to literally walk around and put people's toothbrushes in the toilet or anything crazy. And then that's all fun. And then they do the CD challenge where everybody picks a CD, and you can tell this is 2001 by some of the shit that they're listening to. Like we get Everlast, Incubus, Michael Jackson. Shit, I can't remember. It was some country singer from the 70s, which made sense. Pink Floyd. Nicole picked Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, which I was like, not a bad pick. And they had to throw these CDs in a bowl that was floating in the pool. So again, competition budget was very low. Monica wins by like a lot. And this is the first time Monica's won, but she like crushed it. She's fucking just winging them bitches in the bowl. She's like, and then she's explaining it on top of it. And she's like, yeah, the wind trajectory was like this way. So I knew if I threw them this way into the wind, they were going to go in the bowl. I'm like, Monica, what do you do for a living again? I didn't know you were a fucking like scientist. Holy shit. It is great. I love that little moment with Monica. Now everybody's talking about life without Shannon, which is just Will and Boogie. Will's like, yeah, I went to bed every night with the fucking model, and now I'm by myself, and I think I'm gonna have to break up Nicole's marriage. But that's villainous. And then again, we get more horniness talk where Bunky's like, Hardy's not usually my type, but like Nicole, let me walk you through a scenario. So you're on a desert island, and what's a vegetable that you don't really care for, but you eat anyway? And she's like, zucchini. He's like, okay. You're on a desert island, and you're just surrounded by zucchini, and you're like, I don't really care for zucchini. I don't need zucchini. He's like, and then like a day goes by, and you're like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't need it. I'll just wait on good food. He's like, for like 5-6 days, you're like, oh man, that zucchini does kind of look really good. If that's the only thing around. He's like, then that zucchini touches you, and you're like, come on, man. And he's like, and then the zucchini continues to touch you, and you can't touch the zucchini back. And Nicole's like, I touched the zucchini. He's like, you did touch the zucchini, but I'm not going to touch the zucchini. Well, they're just talking about Hardy's body. Because it shows Nicole's like giving him a massage. And I'm like, Nicole, what are you doing in there? What are your thoughts on this zucchini reference? Because I thought that was the funniest shit in the world. Chris, go ahead.
I mean, it was hilarious, and you really can't blame him. I mean, I'm a man, but Hardy has an absolute masterpiece. I mean, I'm sitting here watching Big Brother, thinking about working out, trying to get a body like Hardy. I mean, I'm not even worried about the game.
All right, Tequila, what are your thoughts on the zucchini desert island story?
I liked it. It was a really good metaphor, to be honest, because I mean, like, I'm sitting here listening to it, and I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, that so makes sense. Like, yeah, if I was in that situation too, you know, I mean, I'm talking about food at the same time, but it's not really referencing the food. It's more of a person's body. So, like, it was hilarious and entertaining all at the same time. But, I mean, I totally get these people.
I just love it at the end, and he's like, I don't even like zucchini. And he's like, but here I am thinking about zucchini. Like, fuck you. Your poor soul. Like, get him home to Greg right now. Then we get this stupid bit, which I'm just going to graze over. They're like, the house is haunted. And this is not the only season this stupid shit happens in. Like once every 5 seasons, someone's like, yeah, I think this place is haunted. And that's not even the same fucking house a few years down the road. So it's like, you all are just insane. To stop this. To stop the shenanigans. Then Will really does some good work here. He's talking about like, yeah, the Boogie goes out. I need to start playing this game completely by myself. I'm going to be the last member of Chilltown in this game. And if I'm not careful, I'm next. So he goes and he does, which I think is the best thing he could have done in the most unlikely scenario. He goes to Nicole and Hardy and makes this little deal with them. And again, Hardy's like, I don't do alliances. I don't do game talk. And they're like, us 3 to the end. And they fucking pinky swear it. And I'm like, Hardy, why? People are going to watch this. But for Will, this is brilliant. This is like, he went literally from like, yeah, I'm the clear bottom to being like, I think I'm going to take control of this game soon. Like, and he says like, yeah, at the end of this game, I'm just going to pull away and you're going to see under the skin. It's just circuitry and wires. I'm just circuitry and wires. And like, that's, I quoted that in one of my diary room sessions in the social experiment too, because I feel like that's the best way to play the game. Circuitry and wires. It's a game. You start being like Hardy and you start thinking about when you go home, how you're going to live with yourself at night. You're not playing a good game. When you're like, yes, this is a game. I am a character in this game. How the fuck do I win this? I think that's the valid way to do it. And Will, like I said, Shannon's been out the door for 3 days and he's went from the bottom to like starting to surface toward the top of the people in this house. And that's such a crazy thing to think about because both of you, I bet when you were watching like episode, like before Right as Shannon's evicted, I guaranteed you guys thought Will was next. So walk me through Will's circuitry and wire strategy, Tequila and Chris.
I mean, yeah, he's doing what he has to do. He's putting his head into the game. When, you know, he's actually thinking with his brain, you know, and not having somebody control him. Because I really think Shannon was controlling him at some points. But now he's to the point to where he's like, all right, so I do need to play this game smart. I'm the last 3 of Chilltown, you know, possibly. So let me think of a better way to get further in the game. I know a lot of people dislike me, but let me try to have people like me, form an alliance with people that are kind of, you know, okay in the house. And let's go from there and let me form another new alliance and stick with it and not bounce back and forth.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Will decided he wanted to end the chill town. I mean, they were all laid back, and then all of a sudden Shannon's gone, and Will is heartbroken for a few days, and then he realizes he's in a game and he wants to win. So he sits there and he uses his intelligence, which you can finally see is there, and he's like, I have to be the puppet master. I mean, I will pull these strings, and he just out of nowhere makes so many alliances and starts being relatively nice and starts winning people's trust out of nowhere.
Yeah, because like at the start of this season, no, you could have never guessed that Nicole and Will were gonna end up like talking about working together to the end of the game. Nicole and Will, Nicole who was like Nicole and Hardy who were like week one when they were trying to get Sherry evicted, being like, we will take down every member of Chilltown and then we'll evict our fucking selves. We just want them gone. And now they're like, oh yeah. And Hardy's like, yeah, I do realize to win this game, everybody else has to be evicted. And I was like, yes, Hardy, that is how the game works. That is kind of the blueprint on how this will go. I don't know why you're just now figuring that out, but okay, it's fine. Take your time. And so he's like, okay, yeah, I do want to win. I do want to win. And I'm like, well, that's not what you said like 7 times to the people in the house. Okay. Again, fine. At your own pace. Do what you need to do. And holy shit. And Will knows that I think Nicole is like the zucchini thing. In real life, is Nicole attracted to Will? No, she hates him because he's narcissistic and she hates that about him. But she's on that desert island. And yeah, there's Hardy. There's also the doctor with the abs and intelligence. And she's like, I'm comparing zucchinis, and I think I might want that one. Like, I know this is next episode, and we'll talk about it when Jada's on, but I want to talk about it a little bit right now before we wrap up. The shower thing. The shower thing with Will. Can we touch on this a little bit here? She's married. Her husband is watching this. And she's like, oh, I just wanted to see, when he'd tell me, like, oh, I'm just kidding. No, he's not going to tell you he's just kidding. He's going to see how far this is going to go. And she's fucking, like, in her underwear and everything and about to in the shower. And she opens up the shower and he's completely naked. And he's like, are we really doing this? And she's like, yeah, we're doing it. And he's like, Nicole, you're going to get divorced. Which is code for, like, whoa. Like, if you want to, but, like, there's consequences. And she's like, oh, well, he never broke, so I had to stop. And I'm like, bitch, he was kind of telling you that for a while. So yeah. Thoughts. Tequila, you're horrified. Let's hear from you first.
I was kind of watching this on my way to work. Like, I was at the gas station watching it. But I was like, is she really taking it this far just to see if he's going to break? I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, you could do so much, like, other things than just open up the shower and be like, hey, I'm going to come in there with ya. Even though I know I said that I'm married and you kind of have a serious girlfriend, but let's just see if Will's actually going to be a guy for a minute or if he's, just, saying words and whatever. I'm just like, this is a point where I was like, Nicole, this is the dumbest thing you have ever done in this whole game so far. Stop.
Hey, Chris.
I mean, what did she think was going to happen? It's Will. Will is so freaking horny, and he doesn't care. I mean, he said it before. He broke up Shannon and her boyfriend to get with her, and he even said he might have to break Nicole's marriage up. I mean, what do you think's going to happen? And it was so funny. I mean, I had to pause what I was watching, get up and take a lap. I mean, I lost it.
Because for a second, you're like, she's getting in there. Like, she's going to do it. And we're watching. What does this make us? We're watching the dissection of a woman's marriage. Like, oh, shit. Like, it was like that. And, like, again, she's, like, down in her underwear. And then she's like, I'm just kidding. And I'm like, bitch, if I was your husband, I'd be like, when you get home and if you don't have $500,000 with you, we are going to have a talk. We're going to have a long and serious. Now, if you bring $500,000 home and you just went down your underwear, we'll level that out. Well, there'll be a payout session. like, look, And just like I said, this is a game. But if you're like married, $500,000 should not be worth your marriage.
No.
And also, there was no strategy in this. To get Will's trust, he's at the bottom. All you have to do is say, like, I got your back. That's probably all he needs to hear. Not, I'm going to get in the shower with you. And then, like you don't just see me walking around with people like, I need to earn this person's trust. Hey, I'm going to climb in the shower with you. And then me going and being like, I just wanted to see where it would go. They didn't stop. Like, it's ridiculous. So, tomorrow we'll pick up on episode 13. It's going to be Boogie or it's going to be Krista, and we see a long dissection of their relationship because Boogie's in the same dilemma that Shannon and Will were, where like neither person wants to campaign against the other person. Like they're like, I really like this person. I'm not going to say vote them out. So, but Will's sitting there like, no, Boogie, do that thing that you're saying that you don't want to do that. Like tell them like vote Krista out. He's like, I can't. She's such a nice person. He's like, you should probably do that. But if it was flipped and Boogie was like, yeah, Will, you should probably vote out Shane. He's like, no, I wouldn't be able to do that. So it's funny that he's just like, yeah, I couldn't do it, but you should probably do it. So, that's kind of where we are. Tomorrow we'll have Jada with us. We'll briefly get her thoughts on all that shit. And, we'll continue moving forward. We'll cover 2 evictions, I believe, from 13 to 15. I think that the next eviction happens. I don't know. I haven't watched episode 15 to be fully caught up. I'd like to get through that next eviction. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow at that time. For those watching, join us tomorrow at that time. So yeah, guys, any final closing thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
I mean, overall, it's getting more interesting. Like you said, they said it was just dragging on a little bit, but now it's starting to pick up. I'm getting more interested, and I don't have to can I just skip this part? But it's probably important. But now it's getting more interesting, and I'm indulging myself a little bit more with it. So I like the way the progress of the season's going.
Chris, do you like the way the season's turning out for you?
Yeah, I mean, towards the end, we're finally getting so much drama. Everybody's switching sides and creating weird alliances you never thought were going to happen. And people are they're playing the game, and everybody's starting to get settled into what the house looks like now. I mean, so many people are gone, and it drug that part out. And then now we can finally see that, hey, there's going to be a giant prize. We have money. We can win.
I'll have my final thought and we'll wrap up here. It's like when the game started, they were like, oh, it's so new and exciting. Now they're like, okay, it's in sight. We can kind of see where the end's going to be. I want to be there at the end when that thing is awarded. I don't want to be in the jury. I don't want to go home. Like Hardy even said to his grandmother, he's like, I love you, but I don't want to see you yet. I want to see you when this game is over and I have money. They're finally getting it. It took a couple of evictions, with Cheryl wanting sushi more and Justin being a fucking psychopath. But it took all of that to be like, oh yeah, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. Like Hardy said, at the end, all these people have to be evicted. And you're like, yes, child, you got it. So, and now it's down to the nitty gritty. There's no chill town on the other side. There is just the rest of the house. It's time to see where the cracks are and let's watch it all fall apart and watch the world burn. So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being here on this episode, and I'll see you then.